We're all still adjusting to our routines, but some people are dealing with the cancellation of huge life events. We're talking graduations, weddings, and baby showers. Dr. Tracy Alloway is a psychologist and an author, and there are families who are disappointed because their celebrations, they're canceled, postponed until further notice. How do people cope with that disappointment?
That's a great question. And there are three things that I'd like to share with our listeners today. The first is that you have to accept disappointment, be realistic, and realize that we're all in a time of flux. So it's really important to, first of all, accept and rather than allowing that to sink in. The second tip that I'd like to share is to reframe. Instead of thinking, oh, this is terrible, this is awful, why is this happening to me? It's really critical at this time to reframe from the negative talk to something positive, like maybe I can still FaceTime them. I can share the excitement this way. So really, we want to reframe and shift it to a different perspective. And the third thing that we really need to keep in mind is to make a plan. What can we do to be proactive in this situation? Maybe that's, reaching out to someone else in your class, in your situation that may also be struggling. And it's a great opportunity to look beyond your own disappointment as well.
Those are some really good tips. Now, Dr. Alloway, for me, when you have plans, 3-4 months away, like I do have a family vacation, I get a lot of anxiety when I think of, okay, am I going? Am I not going? So what are some tips you have for that? Because that has kind of been bogging me down a little bit.
And that's great, and that happens to all of us. The best thing about vacation, and actually researchers found that the most exciting thing about vacation is the anticipation of that event. Sometimes not even the event itself, but just looking forward to that, and not knowing whether we are able to look forward to that can be incredibly stressful and anxiety-inducing, just as you described. So one of the best ways to do that, again, is that second point is to reframe, and the way to reframe is to shift our future outlook to a present outlook. So wake up saying, today, what can I do? What is one action that I can do that would make me feel happy, that I'm on a little vacation? Maybe that's, taking a little deck chair out to a patio and even spending 10 minutes out enjoying the sunshine just in some quiet. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's calling a friend. Maybe it's making your favorite meal. But instead of looking in the future and trying to anticipate what could happen, which in this case, it's obviously very difficult to predict, let's shift our focus, our time perspective to something present and say, today, what can I do to help me feel a little happy, a little relaxed, a little bit more like vacation mode?
Got it. So now we know that adult brains and children's brains, they operate differently. They kind of comprehend things differently, obviously. How can we help, our little people kind of understand that things are different now and there may be some disappointment attached to that?
And I think this is what is the fantastic thing about children is that they are already so present focused. They're not sitting there making plans, looking at their calendar, thinking, oh, a week from now I have this. Is this really going to happen? So you can really capitalize on that enjoyment, that present focus, and say, hey, today we're going to try something new. And I've seen some really fun videos of families doing little obstacle courses in their home, setting up mugs and kind of dashing in and out. I've seen people kind of, the kids put little pillows in their stomachs and doing little sumo wrestling at home. So again, be proactive and say, today, this is the fun activity we're going to do today. And it's a great time to encourage their creativity. I'm in the middle of writing a new book, and one of the things that I'm looking at is creativity in the brain. And we know that when we're kind of in this daydreaming, subconscious phase, that's when our creativity really spikes. So use that to harness our young children's minds and say, we've got a little downtime. We don't have to be going from one activity to another right now. What can we do today that's going to unleash our creativity? Maybe it's drawing, maybe it's writing, maybe it's, learning a new skill like programming that they can do online. Help encourage that new development in them.
And obviously having these conversations, even with your teens experiencing non-traditional proms now, just having these conversations can help, right?
Oh, definitely. And it's fun, even I know a lot of schools are doing Zoom conferencing, and it's really, kids get really excited. They get to see all their friends lined up, the little videos up there. And again, that reframing is so critical because our children mirror the emotions that we kind of portray. So if we're feeling anxious and we're thinking, oh, this computer isn't working, how do we do this? They're going to pick up on all of this stress as well. But if we show excitement, we say, hey, look at that. You get to see your friends at home. Wow, you've never got a chance to do that before. They're going to pick up on that excitement and they're going to mirror that too. And it's not just the young kids. Our teens do that as well. We all do, even as adults, pick up on and mirror other emotions.
All right, Dr. Alloway, thank you so much. As always, you guys can head over to our website, firstcoastliving.net, to check it out again.